Bitch. Alright, welcome to Starlight my channel. We coming in deep. Yeah, I know what time it is. Get set of sand full play. Yeah. Anyway, we're in with another good video today. It's gonna be a good one, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? How they say it, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's get right into it, right? Boom. It was like this, right? Boom. So look, these days male have higher estrogen, women have higher testosterone, man. So listen up. There's a number of different factors, right? Because I don't want to accelerate this one that long. Per se, something per se. So I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, um, there's many different factors. Some people may say genetics, and here's the thing: due to certain habits, because this is the first one, I'm gonna say habits. Um, due to certain habits that we all have, males and females, especially males, there's certain habits that drain us or make us more unequipped from a fertilization or sperm level, you see what I'm saying, as far as reproduction, make us less likely to have stronger genes, like make us less able to have genetic or reproductive superiority. And these habits are like, this is why like you have corn out there right now. And here's the thing, it's not that nothing is necessarily fully totality good or bad, but it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And they teach us to overdo these things, and even when we do it, do it in a way that's negative and not conducive to our growth physically and internally, whatever. Everybody's on their own path, and people are experiencing certain things right now. That's part of their path, but at the same time, just knowing what harms you and what doesn't makes a big difference. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of times people's um in general these days in this generation, they have like a lot more lower testosterone and they're more feminine, because when they overly do certain habits and certain things, especially like I said with corn and people like self pleasure, none of this is bad, but when you don't do it in a way that builds your energy and increases vitality and energy, it drains you. And they do it in a way, they teach you how to do it in a way that drains you. Like you got doctors and stuff saying like, oh, you need to buzz 3 a day. You see what I'm saying? You need to do this, you need to do that. But all that is planned and programmed. This is indoctrination. They know what they're doing. They're doing this for a purpose. They know they literally manipulating it like lab rats. I ain't trying to get too deep to the information because you know how it be. But it's really lab rat work that they're doing with us. It's just experimentation. Nothing new under the sun. Just experimentation. But they also know these things already, and they want to see how we react and respond to these things from a hormonal point of view. And as you can see, by them having us over time, ever since that stuff got pushed in heavier and heavier, you've seen higher and higher waves of lower testosterone. They say since the 90s, I think male testosterone these of this generation right now today has dropped what did they say it was? They said it was like, I don't remember the percentage, but I don't know if it's like 10, 20%, something like that. Shout out to Red Cowboy VR, man. Shout out to Red Cowboy VR. Good to see you in here. You see what I'm saying? So the male testosterone have dropped so much from a high level just since then. And they say each decade, I mean, not, I think they say each decade, each about around, let's say, some 10 years. Each 10 years, the testosterone drops lower and lower. Since the 90s, we drop a significant amount already, just since this 24 now. Just from the 90s to the 2020s. From the 80s to the 2020s, it's been an even bigger drop. From the 70s to the 2020s, it's definitely been a bigger drop. Since the 60s and 50s, it's been a humongous drop. That's why they say our great grandfathers, like testicles or gonads, were like on average 25 or 50% larger than ours. I think it was double or triple the size of ours of today, because they had much more sperm count and they had much more higher levels of testosterone, since that organ deals with testosterone in general. And like I said, one of the reasons that is because of, I'm gonna be honest with you, poor masturbation habits. Now here's the thing, not just masturbation itself, but also overly sexual acts in general. But here's the thing, sex itself, like I always say, like I bet in the video two or three videos ago, is not bad. It's just how you do it. Like they be getting lost to semen retention, but none of that stuff is bad. And there's moderation with everything. You need a little bit of everything sometimes, every now and then. But it's about not going too far out with any of these things, and understanding that there's ways that you can even have sex with a partner and not explode your seed and explode your seed everywhere. You see what I'm saying? There's ways of, like I always talk about tantra, of transmuting that energy and circulating it throughout the body to have stronger levels of vitality. But eventually, when you do reach a circular cycle where it is time to release, because there's always a healthy amount of everything. You need to do everything in moderation. But moving on, understanding too like this, right? So that's that habit. That's out the way. Then in older times, your great grandfather wasn't doing that. He was either too busy working. You didn't have corn as much, and you didn't have stuff on the TVs all the time, and you didn't have phones that you can just at one touch of the button just watch for corn. Now, like I said, watching this stuff is not bad, but it's how you utilize it. There's two different ways. I'll tell you just straight up. I don't objectify everything like a lot of people do on here. They like to objectify. They be like, oh no, this is wrong to totality. No, I'm gonna just tell you a negative way to do it and a positive way to do it. The negative way to do it is overly watching corn, getting desensitized, not knowing how to ignite or spark arousal within yourself. So the ability to have kundalini is off because if you can't expect arousal, you can't. If you can't incite and close your eyes and go within and arouse yourself with your imagination, feelings, and thoughts, then that means your kundalini energy is low and weak. And when you can do this, that's how you know that that's the ability that you want to do. So sometimes when people watch too much corn, they get desensitized not only physically because they overly, have a masturbation habit and always 2-3 times a day exploding their seed and losing their white life force and desensitizing their physical sexual organ, but they also internally lack the ability to do this within themselves. This is how you create a lot of creeps because they don't have that energy within themselves. Like I made in my other video about the different types of sex urges, so they have to constantly go and find that out externally outside of them. So they have to go stalk people. Sometimes it just start off small, like they have to watch IG pages. You have to watch some type of porn to get aroused. You can't just go within your own universe, your own world, close your eyes, imagine, and arouse yourself. That's Kundalini energy right there when you can do that. You can't do that. You already calcified because you need something externally outside of you to spark your own internal light. This is where the sense of enlightenment comes from. Inner light. Enlightenment. In light. Inner. You see what I'm saying? But check it out. Anyway, let's move on. So that's the first habit. And then the second one is the second thing that puts people in situations that why they have lower levels of testosterone as men today is also, like I said, another habit that they have is lack of physical activity. That's a really big one. That's simple. That's plain and put. They work more. They use more physical labor. Now we are in this new world, so that's fine because it ain't nothing. If you still on the computer, you can still do that all day. But you just need to know good recovery exercises that can keep you aligned. See, I keep trying to tell y'all, nothing as bad as not what you do is how you do it. If you gonna eat burgers every day, you better know the best way how to make your body be able to handle eating that burger every day. You see what I'm saying? AKA having the best health that you can have, working out consistently because you're burning that off, so you burn all those calories off. Making sure you get enough vitamins in you so you still get that. You know what I'm saying? Detoxing a little bit, then you'll be fine. Because not what you do is how you do it. So you'll be straight if whatever you do, as long as you know how to do it in the best way that benefits you. But anyway, moving on. So we already know that physical inactivity is a big one. We all know that. The next one is diet, of course. A lot of people don't get enough stuff in their diet, and due to the GMO meats and fruits and veggies that is being pushed out right now, of course, it's for a reason. Like I said, another lab experiment test crap going on again. But at the same time, it's not that these GMO foods are all necessarily bad, but for the most part, they don't give as much nutrients to a person as much as the seeded ones do. And a lot of the fruits in general have been harpered with. That's why they don't taste the same. They've been harpered with. They're doing all these chemical stuff to kill stuff that they've already created. So it's horrible with that. But even with that being said, even with that type of stuff, people naturally don't get enough they don't even eat the type of food that would do it anyway, even if those foods are less than they used to be. They don't even eat those. One. And then two, it's important to always have some type of multivitamin or some type of herb, some type of veggie supplement, some type of supplement that you can utilize because you're not going to be getting in all these vitamins like you're supposed to throughout your day unless sometimes you supplement with something these days. You don't have to be the old crappy supplements. They have real good whole food natural supplements too and powders that are natural from the earth. And you can utilize those too and those. And that's how that play out. You see what I'm saying? So that's how that works. Oh, sorry, somebody came at the pause. Um, but with that being said, you need to understand that, right? And hold on, let me get my chain of thought together. Where I was at. Okay, yeah, the nutrients. So all that stuff. So whether it's smoothies, protein shakes, a lot of gut powders, because a lot. See, here's the thing: a lot of people lack certain enzymes within them, especially in today's age. If you out here overly excessively draining yourself, I told you with either poor masturbation habits, or even if you are with a girl, but you constantly do it like excessively, you need a certain type of intake that match your outtake because you're excreting more than you're actually inputting, and that a lot of times can lead to drainage, and you wonder why you manifest certain health problems in your life too. That's why a lot of people be having weak organs and get all kind of weird stuff going on. You see more people hurt, more people easily get hurt, and more people having all these health issues mentally, physically with their organs and all that, and more illnesses and ailments because their bodies are literally getting weaker because they're lacking vitality. You see what I'm saying? Due to their inability to keep themselves vitalized through their input since their output is so heavy. But anyway, that's so nutrition basically. And then there's other ones too, like I say, um, but those are the main ones, and people don't really focus on naturally boosting their testosterone. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's many different ways that you can naturally boost your testosterone, but people might not care about it. Like I always say, like reproductive organ massage for men and women. The women, it help boost their estrogen. For men, like testicle massages, testes massages, sexual organ massages can help you boost testosterone and all that stuff like that. So, like I said, certain herbs before, certain herbs are good that you could just keep on deck. So you can either take them once a day or every other day, or see what I'm saying, to make sure you get at least two or three, four in a week. Have you know what I'm saying? So you know you can be straight. You gonna have some energy, have some oomph to you, and you have more energy to get more stuff done. A lot of people, like I said, their vitality is low. It was effing up again. I think I'm back. But a lot of people, like I said, have those bad habits that they don't replenish themselves, and so that's how it plays out a lot of times. A lot of people are lacking a lot of enzymes, a lot of vitamins in them already, naturally. And depending on who you are, that's why the zodiac is important, because depending on what sign you are during certain seasons and transits, you get influenced a certain type of way. But beyond that, in general, certain people have natural alchemical makeups that are different that allow them to be more easily drained in certain areas. Like for instance, is a Aries in general, Aries nature in general, everybody's different, may not lack iron as much because the state of being internally that they're in manifests more iron. Like that's why I say when your blood flow, we literally manifest our blood. Like we create more blood cells. Blood cells are being created all the time. We create enzymes. We create natural vitamins and minerals. If it wasn't so, you wouldn't already have certain minerals already in your blood. Blood is already made up a certain level of iron. But I'm saying certain people naturally, alchemically, have more of these things in them than others. Some people may have a heavy amount of magnesium in their blood, selenium already, and potassium, and manganese, and all that stuff like that, and sodium chloride. So they may be fine when it comes to certain stuff like that. So they may not have as much anxiety. They may not have as much physical tension in their body all the time. But they might lack something else in something else in their body that allows them to not have, you know what I'm saying, a certain other thing that they need. Whereas another person may have exactly what that person doesn't have, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it plays out. So you got to know your own body and what you lack. But a lot of people, especially in these days and age, because of our naturally over excessive depleting habits, we naturally lack a lot more than we need to. You see what I'm saying? And it puts us in a situation where it harms us more than it helps us. But with that being said, much love to all y'all. Understand that. Oh wait, no, I can't leave because I ain't even get onto the women. So let me hurry admit this because I gotta go. But women have higher testosterone too, and it's the same thing dealing with them and their habits. And everything may not be the exact same, but just know that certain things that we are being injected to when we go to the doctor, certain things that we eat, certain fast foods, certain things in general, even the air that we breathe in now, with everything being spread around, all affects our bodies in different ways. And these days, males have higher estrogen due to all these things and how we're being manipulated and being lab experimented by the government. And then women these days have higher levels of testosterone. This is why you see a lot more men that are gay these days and a lot more women that are gay because for you to be attracted to the same sex, there's a certain level of estrogen. Now, I know what people are saying, oh, what do you mean? But there's some strong bodybuilder looking dudes. Yeah, but you can have high testosterone and high estrogen at the same time. You're supposed to have a balance. As a man, you're supposed to have more testosterone, less estrogen. Some men have high testosterone, higher estrogen. So you got masculine energy in you, but you got just as much as high feminine energy in you too. This is how you get those people who be real big and strong, but they be overly emotional too. But that just understand that, and that's the same thing. Like alchemically, everybody is made up differently. So some people may be in situations where it's easier for them to build more estrogen just because of how they alchemically are. They may be naturally more in their emotions and feelings, and nothing's wrong with that. I'm just saying you gotta know how to control these things, manipulate these things, and have a good balance. That's all I'm saying. Because they'll play out internally first with your feminine and masculine energies, aka your masculine energies, the visions, and your ability to think and analyze and make sense out of your situation or structure, and then your feminine energies, aka your ability to be in your emotions and feelings, have a sense of psyche or empathy, empath energy, have a nurturing energy. You see what I'm saying? All these things are different. Once you can balance them, you become more whole and you become more complete. But if you're in the masculine body, you're supposed to have a little bit more masculine energy in you. If you're in the feminine body, you're naturally supposed to have more naturally feminine energy in you. And that's how that plays out. And so whenever you unbalance, you're technically unhealthy. Now you can manipulate these things the way you want if that's your choice. There's nothing wrong with that. But just saying in general, unless that's the case, you know that there's some sense of unhealthiness going on within your own system. But a lot of people are not aware of it. But like I said, that's why a lot of more men are gay these days because they have higher levels of estrogen. Because that's more feminine energy within them. So it's like a female in them that's attracted to other men. And then you have uh, more women that have higher testosterone. Sometimes women just be playing around, like they be like, "Oh, f niggas, we don't need niggas, this and that," and they just be playing around. So they do it, but they don't really see it like that. But in general, the reason why it's such a high epidemic too of women being attracted to other women too is because there is a higher level of masculinity going on with the women. That's why even when you look at a lot of women's face these days in this generation, they look good with the makeup, but a lot of times you take it off, they look like real rough. They look tougher than a lot of dudes. You see what I'm saying? Some women got higher testosterone than dudes these days. Some men got higher estrogen than females. So that's why the way it is. That's why the faces, the way they structured and all that. And I'm not saying everybody gonna have this brute, tough face if you're a man, but there's all that deals with your hormones though. So when you seen a lot of women walking around with these hard, tough, strong faces, that's not always just genes. It play out like that a little bit, but that's a hormonal thing. You see what I'm saying? And then that's how that stuff plays out. You see what I'm saying? That's why you got a lot of women that be like, "Oh, I don't need it for ish," and you be like, they get all real offended, like when they come down to like doing feminine things, they be like, "No, I don't want to get clean for a nigga." And I understand if they don't deserve it, then that's different. Cause just cause you a dude and you make some money, don't mean that you deserve to be treated too like a man either. I'm gonna be real with you. So I do agree with that. I'm just saying in general. I'm not talking about specific situations, cause you know if your situation calls for it or not. Cause everybody living their own life, that's different. If you know it's a reason why you're not doing things and you feel the way you feel. But I'm saying just in general over overall totality viewpoint, a lot of this is why sometimes they be like they don't want to do these feminine things, or they don't want to pay too much attention to cooking and certain things, because some of these things are naturally back to supported by the feminine energy. This is a yin thing. Cooking and nurturing, that's a yin energy. That's the dark side. That's the right side. That's the yin energy. That's the female, the feminine energy of it. That's not a natural masculine thing. Now there's a masculine to yin and everything. Even in the feminine, there's a yin and yang in the feminine. In the yin, there's a yin and yang to the yin. There's a yin and yang to the yang, aka there's a yin to the yang. There's a yang to the yin. There's always a double dual sided to everything. But in general, in totality, that energy in itself is feminine. So if you have a higher amount of testosterone, you're not gonna be as led to do these things. This is why a lot of times the men that have higher levels of estrogen be naturally geared towards and being drawn towards doing more feminine things, like knitting or certain things that correlate with the feminine energy. It's a reason why they feel that way. It's not people just be like, oh, just because it's cooking doesn't make it feminine. No, that's not what I'm saying. But there's an energy behind that came from somewhere before it even manifested physical, and that's why that person is more attracted to that energy in general. It's not their fault. They're naturally led to these things. You see what I'm saying? It could be certain young people, like a toddler or a baby, that's led to certain things because of the energy that's more so in them than another person may be. You see what I'm saying? This is why men in general are naturally attracted to certain things dealing with harm or physical, you know what I'm saying, or physical exertion or certain sports, and because it's a science and it's science and a spirituality to all this stuff. It's a spiritual meaning to all these things, esoteric meaning to all these things. But that being said, we almost 20 minutes in, 18 minutes in. I'm gonna get up out of here. Um, I know I'll be talking fast, I'll be rambling, but that was important to know. I didn't want to say that. I want to make a quick video about it. I'm gonna get up out of here. I might come back today. I might not. No promises. But if y'all got any questions, leave them in the chat. Leave them in the comment section, and I will get back with you. Cause I can't make a video especially for you. If y'all want to ask, y'all won't be asking. Cause I can make a video for you. But let me know. Get right. Stay spiritually protected. Stay spiritually inclined. And peace.